Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Shakuntala Haraksing Tilstead. I am the Director of CGIAR Nutrition, Health and Food Security Impact Area Platform. Having worked with nutrition-sensitive aquatic food systems approaches, I am delighted to be moderating this special event on blue transformation, advancing aquatic food systems for people, planet, and prosperity at the UN Food Systems Summit +2 stock-taking moment. This event is jointly organized by the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, the Aquatic Blue Food Coalition, the Global Action Network for Sustainable Food from the Oceans and Inland Waters for Food Security and Nutrition, the CGIAR, and the United Nations Climate Change High-Level Champions. We have with us about 100 participants and many distinguished guests with us. So please allow me to say all protocols observed and offer a warm welcome to all. Let me begin by sharing some useful information. We are being live streamed through the virtual platform. Simultaneous interpretation is being provided in Arabic, Chinese, French, Russian, and Spanish. You can select the language of your choice through the control panel of your headphones or through the language panel at the bottom of your screen if you are following us online. If you want to promote this event, please do so by using the hashtag UNFSS+2 and Blue Transformation through your social media postings. To all of you joining us from so many different parts of the world, a warm welcome. A blue transformation is critical. I'm too far? Okay. Thank you. A blue transformation is critical in transforming aquatic food systems to address food and nutrition security and poverty globally, while ensuring that our planet's natural resources are used sustainably today and in the future. Today, we hear from expert leaders on key regional and national initiatives and impactful examples to transform aquatic food systems. Our high-level panelists would share technical solutions, transformative policies, and strong, inclusive partnerships that have been put in place to drive the blue transformation agenda, and at the same time, harness the potential of nature-based solutions. We will then open the floor for audience statements before closing by the UN Secretary General's Special Envoy for the Oceans. Firstly, allow me to invite FAO's Deputy Director General, Ms. Maria Helena Semedo, to open this event. Madam, the floor is yours.
Thank you, and a good morning to all. Excellency Ministers, AU Commissioner, UN Special Envoy for Oceans, ambassadors, friends, distinguished guests, dear participants. Welcome to this special event on blue transformation for advancing aquatic food systems for people, planet, and prosperity. This event is coming just as FAO and partners revealed that 780 million people still face hunger, up 122 million since the pandemic, and 3.1 billion cannot afford a healthy diet, and is not a nice panorama that we have. Therefore, more than ever, Fisheries and aquaculture are crucial in the fight against hunger and poverty. They provide over 3 billion people with at least 20% of their animal protein and livelihoods for some 600 million. Aquatic food system production is at a record high and expected to grow by 11% by 2030, offering promising potential to feed a growing population. FAO believes we can build a more productive, resilient, sustainable, and equitable fisheries and aquaculture sector. And we call this blue transformation, where together we leverage policies, science, research, technology, and innovation to achieve 3 objectives. 1, ensure that sustainable aquaculture satisfies demand for aquatic foods, especially in food deficit regions. 2, ensure effective ecosystem-based management for all marine and inland fisheries, not only for sustainable production, but also for conservation. 3, improve aquatic food value chain by reducing loss and waste and boosting smallholder producers' access to marketing. Accelerating blue transformation could increase per capita consumption of aquatic food by 25% by 2050. However, inaction or failure to transform could see a 10% drop in production. And what it means? It means that we are putting land-based agri-food systems under great pressure. Then invest in the blue transformation is the right thing to do, and it has economic sense. Today's distinguished panelists will share promising initiatives, solutions, and practices of aquatic food system transformation that boost food security while buffering climate change impact. Friends, without aquatic food, we will not end in hunger, not achieve the Sustainable Development Agenda. Let's join forces to transform aquatic food system and build a sustainable and climate resilient blue future for all. Thank you, and I wish you a successful deliberation and discussion.
Thank you, Deputy Director General, for reminding us that blue transformation is key in driving holistic food systems transformation towards healthy people and a resilient, sustainable, and equitable planet. Next, let me invite Mr. Stefan Jon Hafstein, Special Envoy on Ocean Affairs, Iceland, to come forward and deliver a message from the President of Iceland, His Excellency Gundi Johannesson, and also from the Aquatic Blue Food Coalition.
Dear friends and colleagues, Iceland is an island in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Life rests on a delicate balance between ocean currents, temperatures, and biodiversity. Nothing is given in this environment. We are always reminded of the need to respect the forces of nature. We have also learned that we must manage our resources in a sustainable way. We know that they cannot be exploited without care or consideration. Indeed, there was a time when we had to deter the risk of destruction. Humanity is faced with numerous challenges. In Iceland, we see the effects of the climate crisis in receding glaciers and in the ocean that surrounds us. The seas are warming up at a higher rate in the Arctic and the northern seas than elsewhere on the planet. Humanity is faced with numerous challenges in Iceland. We see this, and we have still reasons to be optimistic. There have been positive developments thanks to important work of good people like you. So together we must secure global pledges to conserve and advance our biodiversity. We must reduce plastic pollution, and we must fight unregulated fishing to name a few recent examples of advancement. Yes, we must keep this momentum. Iceland fully shares the concerns of the small island developing states and marginalized coastal communities. The call now is for programs designed for environmental and social protection, emphasizing quality nutrition and low emissions. With all this in mind, Iceland is proud to chair the Aquatic Blue Food Coalition. The coalition provides an inspiring example of how partnerships can be built across sectors to support mainstreaming the role of marine and freshwater ecosystems in providing food security and nutrition to those in need. With these positive initiatives, a constructive framework has been created for action. After all, good intentions mean nothing without a willingness to act. And on this note, I wish you a productive special event. I commend the UN and FAA for calling on all of us to take this decisive action for blue transformation. Thank you. Takk fyrir.
Thank you, Stefan, for delivering this powerful message on the vital role of aquatic food systems for improving lives and livelihoods of so many. To explore the potential of blue transformation, we have a great lineup of high-level panelists with me today in the front here. From the African Union Commission, Her Excellency Josepha Sacco, Commissioner for Agriculture, Rural Development, Blue Economy and Sustainable Environment. From Norway, Her Excellency Anne Beate Tvinnereim, Minister of International Development. From the Republic of Indonesia, Ms. Vivi Yulaswati, Deputy Minister for Marine Affairs and Natural Resources. From South Africa, Her Excellency Nosifimo Giselle, Ambassador of the Republic of South Africa to FAO. And joining us from Tanzania, His Excellency Justus Abuik Nyamanga, Ambassador of the United Republic of Tanzania to Belgium, Luxembourg, and to the European Union, as well as Chairperson of the Organization of the African, Caribbean, and Pacific States Ambassadorial Working Group on Oceans, Inland Water, and Fisheries. Each of our panelists has 3 minutes to respond to 2 vital questions. What are the actions and initiatives already taken to transform aquatic food systems and ensure that these systems deliver sufficient, nutritious, and safe aquatic foods equitably? And secondly, what are the priorities and next steps that must be taken to strengthen aquatic food systems transformation? Let's begin with some regional perspectives and hear from Her Excellency Sacco.
Thank you, Moderator, for giving me the floor. Good morning, every one of you, Excellencies, Ministers, Ambassadors, Special Envoys, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol duly observed. I would like to wish you happy African Day of Seas and the Ocean. So African Union is fully committed to answer your question directly because I have only 3 minutes. African Union is fully committed to support our member states in transformation of the aquatic food system. At the African Union, we have approved our blue economy strategy, which we have been working with our member states in order really to strengthen, because we know that the 8 countries in Africa are coastal and 7 countries are islands. So this is a very, very important potential that we need to unlock, mostly now with all these shocks that we've been going with COVID-19 pandemic and also Russia and Ukraine's impact on our own food system in Africa. So what are we doing in terms of really implementing our blue economy strategy? We are actively working with African Union member states, the RECs and partners to consolidate regulatory framework that fosters the sustainable management of our aquatic resources to ensure responsible fishing practice, protect marine biodiversity, and enhance the livelihood of the coastal community. 2 weeks ago, the African Union brought together all the African Union member states and the RECs to discuss the gap in Africa's ability to tackle illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, and develop a roadmap for implementation of the continental recommendation to strengthen our collective response to IUUF. IUUF is driving aquatic food system to the brink of depletion. We have also set up a network of centers of excellence on fishery and aquaculture, which aims to consolidate regional value chain, innovation, and capacity building on blue food on the continent. However, we face with 2 major challenges. The first of these is infrastructure and market access. During our consultation with rural women, they articulated 4 clear needs: the capital, training on sanitary and phytosanitary standards, addressing social norms, and infrastructure and equipment to minimize post-harvest loss, and access regional value chain. The second issue is accelerating depletion of marine resources, which poses a critical challenge for the health of aquatic food system. Before I'm about to finish, just I'm talking on behalf of 55 countries, so not a country level, but I'm almost finishing. Habitat destruction, pollution, and overfishing have led many sources of food on the brink of a collapse and critical overexploited. I submit. Thank you.
Thank you, Excellency, for sharing these key initiatives. Yes, we can learn a lot from the ongoing work in Africa. Before we continue with our panelists, we have a special message from the Global Action Network for Sustainable Food from the Oceans and Inland Waters for Food Security and Nutrition on the importance of aquatic foods. May I ask that the video be played? Thanks to all my colleagues in the Global Action Network. Now I would like to give the floor to Her Excellency Tvinnereim to share with us the experiences from Norway.
Thank you, Madam Moderator, Excellencies, colleagues, dear friends. Thank you all for being here and addressing this extremely important topic of aquatic sustainable food systems. And now, aquatic foods are often overlooked in the discourse of food and nutrition security, and political priority is crucial for raising awareness and raising action for the importance of this topic. Food security goes beyond having enough food. It's also access to the right nutrition and nutrients. Aquatic foods have small environmental footprints, and it provides high-quality protein and essential micronutrients, vital for our health, our development. Now, documenting food safety and nutrients is vital for implementing knowledge-based food and nutrition policies. We must ensure access to food composition data, connect research and policy, and scale up the good solutions that are out there. Food security is a top priority for me and my government, and together with partners in the Global Action Network on Food from the Oceans and Inland Waters, and together with partners in the Ocean Panel, Norway mobilizes actions for sustainable aquatic food systems for food security. Norway has committed to continuing the work of the Global Action Network and bridging the UN Nutrition Decade and the UN Decade of Ocean Science until 2030. Now, aquatic food plays a vital role in addressing nutritional needs in developing countries. And through our strategy called Combining Forces Against Hunger, we emphasize the important role of aquatic food. And let me just mention 4 concrete actions. Firstly, our Fish for Development program focuses on knowledge-based management of fisheries and aquaculture and monitoring to ensure environmental and economic sustainability. Second, through our EAF Nansen program, we improve knowledge on nutrient composition of aquatic foods, preservation methods, and local value chains. Thirdly, we follow up the voluntary guidelines for securing sustainable small-scale fisheries in partnership with FAO to increase consumption of aquatic foods in low-income groups. And finally, our Ocean for Development program supports ocean governments and management, and trust that Norway remains committed to supporting developing countries in their efforts for promoting food security. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing the actions and solutions being led by Norway. Next, allow me to invite Ms. Yula Swati to share the perspectives from Indonesia. Madam, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Excellencies, ministers, ambassadors, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Indonesia has more than 70,000 islands, so 2/3 of the country is covered by the sea, with the coastline stretches for more than 80,000 kilometers. These have become the source of income for 7.5 million fishermen. Our marine ecosystem has become the world's biggest marine megadiversity, including million hectares of mangrove, coral reefs, and seagrass. Blue economy is indispensable for Indonesia's economic transformations. Along the line with the green economy, low carbon development, and energy transitions, the blue transformation has been one of the game changers in the Indonesian's long-term development plan, 2025-2045. It's been aligned with the effort to accelerate the achievement of the SDGs, Indonesia's vision to become an advanced country by 2045, and net zero emissions. The blue economy is about creating value added and improving productivity of marine-based economy to achieve inclusive and sustainable economic growth. Therefore, we have developed the Blue Economy Framework, which provides strategic directions to uplift traditional as well as emerging sectors, the Blue Financing Strategy, policy notes and guidelines that provides innovative financing schemes, and Blue Economy Action Plan that consists of strategic actions supported by all stakeholders. Under Indonesian presidency of ASEAN, we have also developed the ASEAN's Blue Economic Framework. In particular, to aquatic food, which also called as a blue food, it's been part of our blue transformations. The benefit of blue food system development includes not only to increase the protein source, but also produce less carbon footprint compared to land-based food and strengthen local communities. As the next step, we are preparing the implementation strategy in the first medium-term development plan 2025-2030, including such as improving the R&D, use technology, and product certifications. All of these provide us opportunity to achieve sustainable oceans economies. I thank you.
Thank you. And we note that Indonesia is now the second largest captive fisheries producer in the world and recently hosted the meeting of parties of the Agreement on Port-State Measures to support the efforts against illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. Thank you for your efforts. Next, I invite Her Excellency Giselle to share with us the interventions from South Africa. Your Excellency, you have the floor.
I thank you, Moderator. At the outset, I wish to express my appreciation for including South Africa on this panel discussion on blue transformation in action to advance the aquatic food systems. Africa in general, and South Africa specifically, supports the FAO Blue Transformation as a visionary step that will encourage the contribution of fisheries and aquaculture to eradicate hunger, provide nutritional diets, and protect coastal livelihoods. In Africa, aquaculture production remains modest in comparison to aquaculture production elsewhere. And Her Excellency Josefa Sako already explained the opportunities to expand the commercial aquaculture in her earlier intervention. In the Southern African region, aquaculture production has increased significantly over the last 15 years, ranging in species that are produced and the production systems that require different levels of expertise and technology. Production is dominating in Zambia, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, and Malawi, attributed to the growth of the commercial cage culture on Lake Kariba and the commercial semi-intensive pond farming of tilapias. Lesotho and South Africa are important producers of rainbow trout. And focusing now on South Africa's growth in aquaculture with freshwater species, rainbow trout, tilapia, catfish, and others, as well as in marine species such as abalone, finfish, mussels, ocean trout, salmon, tilapia, and other species. Aquaculture production in South Africa contributes a mere 0.01% of global production. Therefore, it's a major area of growth in aquatic foods. South Africa is focusing on strengthening the enabling regulatory environment that facilitates private sector investments, limited capacity in specialized skills, and in particular knowledge management in areas of fish management, fish disease management, water quality control, fish farming methods, site selection, and proper planning, including research and development. And I would like to hastily then move on to other aspects of consumption. South Africa is not currently providing enough or capitalizing on aquatic foods in terms of nutrition. This is attributed to the fact that availability and affordability of fish products and the competition with other cheaper animal-based protein sources. Therefore, this is an area for awareness. The South African government has identified aquaculture as a potential contributor towards food security and nutrition, poverty alleviation, women and youth empowerment, in advancing also environmental sustainability to prevent overexploitation of wild capture fisheries as a country that has established commercial fishing sectors. In advancing the Blue Ocean Agenda or Blue Transformation, South Africa is a strategic partnership with the FAO to develop the aquaculture sector in South Africa and in the region. Therefore, this development focuses on capacity building, legislative development, improving the performance of productive systems, technology development, transfer, resource mobilization, and fish consumption awareness campaigns. And therefore, we are committed to the world's aquatic natural resources, securing the health of the ocean's ecosystems through sustainable fisheries management. I thank you, moderator.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Now, His Excellency Nyamanga will share with us the efforts of Tanzania as well as those of the African, Caribbean, and Pacific states. Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the invitation. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, blue transformation is a vital agenda in the Africa, Caribbean, and the Pacific states, which I'm here to represent. Its transformations need to cut across on production, on management, on trade, and consumption. It also needs to be more inclusive, equitable, and sustainable. We are, for Africa, Caribbean, and Pacific, food and the blue transformation is vital because it's source of food, it's source of income, it is also source of employment and export. But we are facing a number of challenges, whether on production side, on management, on the trade, and the consumption. So we have started doing some efforts to make transformation on a blue transformation. Tanzania level, we have done a government priority has been on blue transformation. We have put into places policies and the legal instruments to make us through. We have increased our budget on blue transformation 6 times in the past 4 years. We have put also investment on fisheries and aquaculture infrastructure, but also building collaboration. We work with the European Union, and we are very thankful for the European Union for the support they are giving us on a blue transformation, as well as other partners. At the OSPS, yes, blue transformation requires partnership, collective actions at regional and the global level. With OSPS, we have made what we call strategic plan of action from 2025 to 2030, where we are going to put transformation as one of our agenda. We have also put 3 years priority actions, 2023, 2025. But we have also formed what we call a food system transformation mechanism within the OSPS. We thank our partners for the program that we are doing together, including Fish for ACP program, which is sponsored by European Union and the other partners, and they get implemented through FAO. Tanzania, we are going to host the Ministerial Conference for Africa, Caribbean, and the Pacific on inland water, oceans, and the blue economy next year. I want to invite everyone, put that one as part of our agenda, and we welcome you to Tanzania, the land of Kilimanjaro and the Zanzibar. We believe we all like fish in our menu, so let's all take initiative and the strategic efforts to transform aquatic food system. Thank you.
Once again, a big thank you to all the panelists for providing their perspectives and strategies for strengthening the transformation of aquatic food systems in line with the Blue Transformation Agenda. I will now open the floor to delegates who may wish to make a statement. Please do be concise. And also, I encourage the audience to engage by submitting written statements to the organizers of this session for feedback and documentation. I call on the EU.
Thank you, honorable ministers, and thanks a lot for this very insightful and interesting debate. And I just quote 2 words from the Norwegian minister who mentioned and cited that the sector, blue economy and blue foods, is often overlooked. And indeed, it is often overlooked. We speak about food systems, but we forget that aquatic foods, blue ocean, ocean biodiversity is at the key. And I also link to what the Tanzanian ambassador. We are really proud of Fish for ACP because we consider this as one of the best flagships with FAO on 12 value chains across the African, Caribbean, Pacific countries. And we want that value chain development helps in terms of inclusiveness, in terms of equity of coastal communities. I think this is key because inclusiveness, empowerment of coastal communities and fishermen and fisherfolk is going to be key. We are also proud of the work with Iceland and Norway and other partners around the Aquatic and Blue Foods Coalition. The very good work that's being done on marine pollution reduction, on ending overfishing, also linking to the port state measures, which was mentioned. We have 102 countries which are signatories. We clearly want more. There is a lot of progress still to be done in various parts of the world on port state measures. And we also have important opportunities. The minister mentioned the ministerial next year. We need to start progress on tracking what can be done better, for example, on financing, on de-risking financial investments, on how to also not overlook the investment portfolio around climate and the ocean biodiversity. We have a number of opportune moments from now, COP28 and the ministerial in 2024 to start showing progress. And last but not least, the European Union is also working around the global gateway to connect and boost connectivity and blue growth. So one of the examples I can cite is the Mayo Biosphere Reserve in Capo Verde, where we integrate port infrastructure, fisheries, tourism, and value chain development. This is also a vision of the European Union in terms of connectivity using the infrastructure as part of the blue growth agenda. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And now we'll have a video of blue transformation. And while we do that, may I please ask the panelists to return to your seats in the front row, and then I'll call upon 2 other speakers to close today's event.
Any change begins with an idea, a vision to achieve more, contribute effectively, make a difference. Today, we can imagine a different kind of world and take the action required to achieve it. Imagine a world where fisheries and aquaculture can transform nutrition and food security to feed the world's growing population. All aquatic resources are managed sustainably. Aquaculture supports economic development, poverty reduction, and nutrition in low-income countries. Inclusive and equitable value chains bring an end to food loss and waste, while ensuring all consumers can access safe aquatic food. The human rights, security and incomes of all fishers, fish farmers and fish workers are guaranteed and protected. Blue transformation is possible. a world where fisheries and aquaculture drive real change and create a meaningful difference to the lives and livelihoods of millions of people. FAO is ready to drive a blue transformation by harnessing science-based solutions, creating dialogue, and leveraging policies that can make it happen. But we cannot do it alone. We need meaningful collaboration and invite national and local governments, the private sector, and other partners to join us. Blue transformation is not only possible, blue transformation is needed if we are to nourish and sustain a growing population. But it must begin now. It must begin with us.
Thank you all. To close today's events, I have on the podium His Excellency Peter Thompson, United Nations Secretary General, Special Envoy for the Ocean, and Mr. Gonzalo Munez, UN Climate Change High-Level Champion of the 25th Conference of Parties to the United Nations Convention for Climate Change. May I now call on Mr. Munez.
Thanks so much. I am here as the chair of the COP28 Presidency's Food System Pillar 2 Non-State Action Group. But at heart, I am first and foremost a farmer producing food from my country, Chile. Today, I want to make two main points. First, non-state actors have a key role to play in the transformation of the aquatic food system. It's essential for governments to take action, but transformation will not be possible without deep collaboration with non-state actors, including companies and small-scale fisheries, financial institutions, and of course, civil society. We will hear shortly in a video from 3 companies taking leading action on the blue food transformation, the Thai Union, Nestle, and Standard Chartered Bank. They are taking action now to achieve sustainable and resilient aquatic food systems, setting targets, increasing transparency in supply chains, committing to prevent overfishing, and mobilizing finance. Today, they issue a call to action to other businesses and governments to work with them to secure a natural, positive, and net zero food system. So thank you, Thai Union, Standard Chartered, and Nestle for your leadership. Secondly, we have a huge opportunity ahead of COP28 to accelerate and showcase the work of non-state actors in driving food system transformation, both on land and sea. It's brilliant that the COP28 presidency, building on the first UNFSS COP26 and COP27, are elevating food systems, including aquatic food systems. In the non-state actor pillar of COP28 Presidency's Food System Initiative, we're working with a wide range of non-state actors to accelerate and showcase action across key areas of food systems transformation, including, of course, reducing emissions from agricultural production, shifting to healthy and sustainable diets, reducing food loss and waste, and protecting and restoring nature. Today, we're also launching a new regenerative landscape initiative, working with some of the largest food companies, as well as farmer organizations and civil society, to transition large agriculture areas to regenerative agriculture, building on the Regen 10 outcome framework. So I encourage more organizations to join this initiative in the run-up to COP28. Now, let's watch a short video on leading company action in blue food transformation.
This month, we launched Sea Change 2030, which is our sustainability plan to help reshape the seafood industry with solutions for people and planet that better sustain a future for all. Collaborations and partnerships, like those we have with the Nature Conservancy, SeaBoss, and the Sustainable Fisheries Partnership, are a critical component in the delivery of these ambitious goals.
Our markets are rich in biodiversity, and a sustainable blue economy is vital both for their prosperity and achieving net zero. We know that $94.8 trillion is needed to support emerging markets in their transition. Financial institutions like ours can help reorient global capital flows towards them, supporting microfinance, enabling clients in the food sector to adopt more sustainable practices, leveraging technologies like blockchain can all help transform the blue economy. Our target is to mobilize $300 billion of sustainable finance on land and sea this decade. We need others alongside to help finance this transformation.
And companies like ours can accelerate change through increased transparency and collaborations like the Global Ghost Gear Initiative, which is focused on the impact on nature of lost and abandoned fishing gear. Greater transparency helps us understand where we can do more to support livelihoods. Collaboration is key to ensure sustainable fish stock levels and clean and thriving oceans. As more companies get involved, we can move faster with greater certainty.
Collective action to help transform the industry can't wait.
And the pieces are starting to fall into place for a step change in company action.
Funders are starting to shine the spotlight on this issue. That matters. We know we speak on behalf of many businesses when we say we want to help, we want to collaborate.
To create a blue economy where fisheries are sustainable,
which are inclusive, transparent, and resilient,
and that play a critical role in combating climate change.
Thank you, Mr. Muniz. Now I invite His Excellency Peter Thompson, United Nations Secretary-General's Special Envoy for the Ocean, for his closing remarks. Your Excellency, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Moderator, and Excellencies and ladies and gentlemen. All courtesies observed, and warm greetings and gratitude for the opportunity of addressing you all this morning. And indeed, thanks to the speakers who preceded me. I thought it was a very enlightening session for us all. For me, there are four take-home thoughts arising from this morning's dialogue. The first is that climate change and pollution and ecosystem degradation are posing serious threats to aquatic life and the ocean's well-being. The magnitude and the rate at which these threats are manifesting means they require urgent remedial attention and action. The second thought is that in a world today in which 3 billion people cannot afford a healthy diet, in the cause of nutritional well-being for humankind, we must transform our aquatic food systems. This is essential if we want to nourish the world's growing population in a sustainable and equitable manner. And from an aquatic perspective, the right way to do that lies in faithful implementation of FAO's Blue Transformation strategy. The third thought is that while fish consumption is growing at twice the rate of population growth, many countries have not yet included aquatic foods in their security and nutrition strategies. International assistance is readily available to fix this, so this governance shortfall should be eminently fixable in the short term. My fourth take-home thought is that aquatic food production is more environmentally efficient than land-based animal production systems, resulting in lower greenhouse gas emissions and less impact on the environment. In the same breath, developing sustainable, equitable, and inclusive aquatic food systems will improve the rights and incomes of fishing and fish farming communities around the world. So, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, let us leave Rome this week with heightened awareness of FAO's Blue Transformation strategy and with determination to follow it with renewed resolve. The strategy represents our best aquatic response to the international community's call for transformation of our food systems and a sustainable future. FAO presented the Blue Transformation Strategy as one of the centerpieces of the second UN Ocean Conference in Lisbon last year. I'm sure the strategy will also be prominent in the 4th International Conference of Small Island Developing States to be held in Antigua next May, and Ambassador, I'm sure, also in Tanzania at the ACP conference next year. Now, as we build towards the 3rd UN Ocean Conference in Nice, France, in early June 2025, we must ensure that we're all fronting up. We must ensure we're moving positively on the Global Biodiversity Framework's aspiration to conserve 30% of the ocean. That we're on top of the IUU fishing through fealty to the PSMA agreement. That we've ratified and have begun implementing the provisions of the High Seas Treaty, BB&J, and WTO's Fisheries Subsidies Agreement. That we have successfully concluded the Plastic Pollution Treaty by the end of next year. And that around the world, we're making blue transformation a reality for the betterment of aquatic food systems and for people and planet. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you, His Excellency. May I please say thank you to all the participants who are here in the room with us today and who are following us virtually. Thank you so much, and we look so much forward for your engagement in blue transformation, advancing aquatic food systems for people, planet, and prosperity. Thank you again. And may I please call the panelists up front so we can have some photos of our session. Thank you.